From the thunderous advance of steam-powered beasts to the silent whispers of the telegraph wires, the Industrial Revolution didn't just reshape industries, it rewrote the art of war. How did turning gears and emerging smoke lead armies into a new age of combat? Let's find out. The steam power surge. In the Industrial Revolution, steam was the great catalyst, the very heartbeat of change. Imagine the vast landscapes of Europe and America, suddenly crisscrossed by snaking lines of iron, the railways. Steam locomotives huffing and puffing with the power of 100 horses, connected cities and factories at unprecedented speed. But the influence of steam stretched far beyond even these feats. On the battlefield, steam changed the game entirely. Armies, once limited to marching or horse-drawn carriages, could now mobilize across continents with startling speed. Supplies and soldiers were shuttled over vast distances, radically altering military logistics and strategies. The implications were profound. Wars could now be fought on wider fronts, and the reach of an army could be extended overnight. Naval warfare wasn't left untouched. The age of sail gave way to the age of steam as ironclad ships powered by steam engines took to the seas. These behemoths could move independently of the wind, making naval engagements more predictable and strategic. They pounded coastal defenses and battled each other in iron versus iron clashes that previewed modern naval combat. Thus, steam didn't just power machines, it powered empires, setting the stage for a world where industrial capacity was as crucial to the military as courage and tactics. The rise of rifling. As the Industrial Revolution steamed ahead, a quieter yet equally transformative revolution took place in the world of firearms. This was the era of rifling, a process involving the cutting of grooves inside a gun barrel, imparting a spin to the bullet as it was fired. This seemingly small adjustment had monumental effects on warfare. Before rifling, firearms were notoriously inaccurate, their smoothbore barrels allowing the bullet to tumble and veer off course. Soldiers in battle often relied more on volume than precision, firing en masse, hoping to hit a target by sheer probability. Rifling changed all that. With the spin stabilizing the bullet's flight, accuracy improved dramatically, allowing individual marksmanship to flourish. Suddenly, a soldier could aim and expect to hit a target at much greater distances than before. This innovation shifted military tactics from massed lines of troops firing volleys at close range to skirmish lines and sharpshooters taking calculated shots from concealed position. The impact of rifling reached far beyond the battlefield, influencing the design of everything from small arms to the great cannons, making warfare far more deadly and strategic. Rifling made every bullet count, and in the process, rewrote the rules of war. The telegraph, wires of war. The introduction of the telegraph marked a pivotal shift in military communications, bringing about a revolution nearly as significant as that of steam and rifling. Before the telegraph, messages within military ranks were carried by mounted messengers and could take hours or even days, depending on the distance. The telegraph changed all this by enabling instant communication over vast distances through a network of wires. The strategic implications were profound. For the first time in history, generals could coordinate complex maneuvers across broad theaters of war in real time. Commanders in the field were no longer islands, making critical decisions in isolation. They were now nodes in a vast, interconnected web of information. This capability allowed for more dynamic and responsive military strategies, transforming warfare into an enterprise where information flow was as critical as firepower. Moreover, the telegraph also meant that the home front and the battlefield were linked closer than ever. News of battles could be relayed back to capitals and command centers almost as events unfolded, keeping governments and citizens more informed and engaged in the war efforts. In essence, the telegraph did not just speed up communication, it shrunk the world, making the management of war a far more immediate and controlled affair. This technological leap in communication redefined not just military strategy, but also the pace and perception of war. Industrial-scale production. The Industrial Revolution didn't just introduce new technologies, it radically transformed how these technologies were produced. Central to this transformation was the concept of industrial-scale production, which brought the might of mechanized manufacturing to the realm of military equipment. Previously, weapons and war materials were crafted by skilled artisans, each piece a time-consuming endeavor. The advent of assembly lines and factories changed that, turning the production of war supplies into a rapid, repeatable process. This mass production meant that for the first time, armies could be equipped not only more uniformly, but also at a scale previously unimaginable. Factories that once produced consumer goods were converted to churn out rifles, cannons, and ammunition around the clock. The quantity of available armaments soared, and so did the potential size and firepower of military forces. The sheer volume of production had strategic implications as well. Nations with larger and more advanced industrial bases gained significant advantages, able to sustain longer conflicts and supply larger armies. The balance of power began to favor those who could produce more, faster. This capability would later reach its zenith in the world wars, but it was during the Industrial Revolution that this critical shift toward industrialized warfare first took root. In this way, industrial-scale production not only filled armories faster, but also reshaped global strategies, making industrial capacity a cornerstone of military power. The chemistry of warfare. As the Industrial Revolution churned forward, it ignited a parallel revolution in military chemistry that transformed the battlefield into a testing ground for scientific discovery. The era saw significant advancements in the development and application of explosives and propellants, which shifted the nature of warfare from primarily kinetic and mechanical to increasingly chemical. Gunpowder, long the staple of military ordnance, was progressively enhanced and eventually supplanted by more powerful and stable compounds, such as nitroglycerin and dynamite. These new chemicals packed a far greater punch and could be used in a variety of settings, from blasting through fortifications to laying devastating traps for unsuspecting troops. Artillery shells were also re-engineered to maximize these chemical innovations' destructive potential. The introduction of high explosives allowed for shells that could shatter upon impact, creating lethal shrapnel that was effective against both personnel and material targets. This not only increased the lethality of each shell fired, but also altered how battles were fought, pushing armies to develop new strategies and fortifications to withstand these powerful blasts. The implications extended beyond the battlefield. The development of chemical warfare agents, like mustard gas, introduced a horrific new dimension to the conflict, showcasing the dark side of chemical advancements. This period underscored the dual-edged nature of technological progress in warfare, as the tools that could defend and expand empires could also unleash unprecedented suffering. The human element. In the shadows of towering machines and groundbreaking technology, the Industrial Revolution's impact on the human element of warfare was profound and deeply transformative. As factories and machines redefined the production and technology of war, they equally reshaped the very nature of the soldier and their role in conflict. Training regimes evolved drastically during this period. Military drills became more rigorous and standardized, reflecting the mechanization of the industries that supported them. Soldiers were trained to precisely operate new machinery and weapons, mirroring the efficiency expected on the factory floors. This shift was not just about handling equipment, but also about fostering discipline that mirrored the predictable, reliable outputs of industrial production. The Industrial Revolution was more than an era of change. It was a forge of modern warfare. How do these changes impact our view of technology and conflict today? Share your thoughts, and if this glimpse into history has captured your interest, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell for more insights into the past that shaped our future.